somebody said no, or two people, or three, 100, sometimes you have to go to that place. It's very difficult to be rejected. I am not a fan of rejection, but if you really want your project to come to life, you have to be okay with rejection. You have to persevere. You have to keep going. So you see successful people on TV or on the internet, anywhere, you look, usually Instagram and all that kind of things. And you wonder, how did that person get here? I want to know. Because in my case, I see myself, maybe I have talents, but it seems like I cannot get where that person is. So what makes the difference? I want to know what are the keys that help anybody to become successful. And so if you're interested in knowing the keys to success, I won't say the keys, but some of the keys to success that are very important, keep watching. Hi, my name is Amina. I'm a life coach, and I'm here to give some tips, offer another perspective, and answer some questions you might have. So if you have questions or video suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you like what I do here, please subscribe, like, and share, and help me spread the word. So today I want to talk about some of the keys that help you to become successful. So number one is, not in a particular order, but something that I've noticed is you need to have talents. Of course, if we can be good at doing a lot of different things, but usually where we stand out is with something we are really good at it. For example, if you take somebody like a tennis player, they're really good at playing tennis. If you take a great singer, great dancer, a writer, they have a talent for that. And even for some, maybe they don't have the talent, but they worked really hard, and now they have developed serious skills. But I want to talk about like the talent as a base. It's the talent as something that oriented you to do something. I want to talk about talent in the sense that it started somewhere. Now you're really good at something, but how did it start? For some people, an amazing dancer, that person had a natural talent for dance. Some people worked really hard to become really great dancer, but usually you're gonna see that it started with a natural talent. And what is really important here is because that natural talent also, when you practice, it helps you to feel less tension because you know that this is something you're really good at. At the same time, you also have to make sure that you like doing it, because some people are really good at something, but that's not what they do today and what, how they change the world today. Another key for success is planning. And like I was saying, it's not in a particular order. So when you are good at planning, it's very it's very useful for your career, because if you want to just jump on something and you don't know what is step 1 or 2, or you don't anticipate that, usually when you get to that to a certain level, this is what you can expect. So how do I solve the problem in advance? For example, if you're a writer, you can start writing like really small short stories and everything. But the thing is, if you're not planning for the long term, like you want to be a published author, you won't know that, I need to actually have a book that has that many chapters, and I will need to send the manuscript to different publishers and things like that. So if you don't plan your work, yes, you can have like amazing talent, amazing skills, but if you don't know how to take the final product to the right people, this is a problem. For example, if you have a marketing campaign, Because if you have a good product, if you don't market, if people don't know about it, it doesn't really matter. Because if you don't have a marketing behind that is pushing the product, nobody will know it exists. So you have to be really good at planning. You have a good product, you have good skills, you're really good at what you're doing, but you have to know how to work the steps to get to where you want to go. And another key that is very important for success is patience. You're not going to succeed at your first attempt 100% of the time. Most of the time you're going to fail. Most people, when they try something new, they fail at it because you're not supposed to be the best at your first attempt. Usually you're pretty bad, and then you work your way up because you have more experience, you practice more and things like that. So if you're not patient and you believe that, I'm gonna start this project and then everything will work out well, within 3 days or after 1 week, it's not gonna work. For example, if you have decided that you want to, let's take the example of the writer again. You want to write a book, a good book, and you want to become a published author. Even if you write your book very quickly, you have all the research done and everything, and it's really, really good. If you're not patient enough, you're just gonna give up quickly. For example, the book is good. Now you're sending it to publishers, but not every publisher would agree with you that the book is good. I'm not interested in this subject because I already have somebody online with that, in line with that. Actually, I already published a book that talks about that, so I don't want to go there again. You see, even if your product is really good, but because you don't have the patience to share it with enough people and to wait for the results and to believe that the book is actually good and to keep pushing and pushing, it's not gonna go anywhere, and at some point you're just gonna give up. So yeah, just patience is very important. You're not gonna build something that is very important in 3 days. Usually you will need more time to make sure that the foundation is good. Another key to success is perseverance. Perseverance is very important because if you have studied some of the most renowned people, very successful people, you will read that they actually had to persevere. For example, the person who created Thomas Edison, who created the light bulb, yeah. So he had to make almost 1,000 attempts to create the final version, and even that we can call that like the beta version, because it has been improved over time. It has improved over time. Now we have the LED and something else. But you see, if this man had abandoned after like 300 tries, nobody knows where he would be today. But he had to persevere. I have heard the story of the chicken soup author. So he wrote the book. The book was good, but then he wanted it to be published, but nobody wanted to do it. So yeah, he had to hear no, I don't know how many times before he got a yes. So he had to persevere. It was the same story for what's his name, Sylvester Stallone. Before he became like this big star, he wrote a script, and then he tried to sell it to some people, but they didn't want him to be like the main character. But he had to insist. And even if he was in a very difficult situation, he didn't have any money, he persisted, and then he finally got what he wanted. Today he's very well paid for each movie. So you see, you have to persevere. Don't abandon. It's not because somebody said no, or 2 people, or 3, 100. Sometimes you have to go to that place. It's very difficult to be rejected. I am not a fan of rejection, but if you really want your project to come to life, you have to be okay with rejection. You have to persevere. You have to keep going. Before we get to the next point, I just wanted to remind you that I have a website where you can find anything that I'm doing, whether it's my one-on-one coaching service or my blog. So I'm gonna leave the link in the description box and you can check it. Thank you in advance. Another key for success is hard work. You're gonna hear that from many people who are very successful today. They worked long hours. They worked at night during the weekends. They slept less. 6 hours, 5 hours for some people. I do not recommend that because you have to think about your health. But yeah, many of them haven't slept that much. They had worked really hard, long hours. They had to have the faith and keep working and working. Even if they were tired, they persisted. And so hard work, no doubt, is a key for success. But now you also need to make sure you work smarter, not harder all the time. Another key for success is network. This is one that I had some difficulties with because, for me, when you're good at something, you create your product and then you sell it to people. But then I noticed that many successful people talk about networking and having to rely on other people because you cannot do everything by yourself. You need help. You need to keep contact, to stay in touch with some people. You never know. When you stay in touch with some people, you can, I don't know, if you send an email saying, oh, how are you doing today, blah blah blah, and you're telling them about a project you're working on. You don't know, maybe they're looking for somebody like you. And you can have many people you work with. You can have many people on your network who can help you in the future. But if you're doing everything by yourself, nobody knows what you're doing. Nobody can refer you to something or somebody, or you don't know. So having a network is very important because those people can actually move things for you. You don't have all the answers, you don't have all the access, but those people, you never know who they know. So have a good network, not in a way where you just exploit people, but in a way where you just take advantage of them, using them. No, but like in a genuine relationship. My last point is you need to have character. We often hear that many people who are successful are crooks. They took advantage of other people. They were dishonest. They ran schemes, and that's how they got rich. But I can tell you, I don't know the 8 billion people on the planet, but I've watched enough interviews, I've listened to enough people to know that that's not true. Because if you think about it, if somebody doesn't have a good character and is always running schemes to exploit other people, at some point the word of mouth is gonna go around and people will know about it. So you cannot hide that kind of things. And so you need to have good character. I believe in I believe in karma, in the sense that what you put out comes back to you. So if you do people wrong, you're gonna get wrong. If you do people right, you're gonna get right. And it's not 100% guaranteed, but it's always better to be good with the people around you, whether you have something in return or not. So have a good character. It always helps. You cannot be in trouble because you have been an honest person. Sometimes, yes, you can find yourself in trouble because somebody has been dishonest and somewhere, and it wasn't your fault. But at the end of the day, if you do nothing wrong, people are going to know about that. As a recap, some keys for success. Number 1 is talent. Number 2, planning. Number 3, patience. Number 4, perseverance. Number 5, hard work. Number 6, network. And number 7, character. My challenge for you today is list what you're good at and that you love doing. So if you like to draw, if you like to sew, if you like to play soccer and you're really good at, write everything on the paper, whatever that thing is, whatever those things are, because you can be multi-talented. Write it on the paper and make sure that that's something you love to do. And the goal of the exercise is to become aware and maybe start taking some steps in the direction of making that become your reality and your main job. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you like what I do here. If you have questions or video suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. So my question for you today is, what other components do you think are important for success? Please share them with us. So that's it for today. I hope this video helps. Until next time, I wish you a good week and I will see you later. Bye, and thanks for watching.